So, lads, today we're going to be talking about Sophie Cunningham and one of the clips from Sophie Cunningham that I've been sent quite a few times. And it's one of those things where Sophie Cunningham is, in general, slowly becoming one of the kind of the more likable players in the WNBA. And this is realistically one of her, pretty much, defending the other players. She's defending the players in the league because of obviously the whole freaking the bullshit of oh, these players all hate each other because they play hard against each other. That's not really it's not really what it is. It's sports people, doing their job. It is genuinely just sports players doing their job, and this is what Sophie Cunningham has had to say.
I'm not just speaking for myself. I think I'm speaking on behalf of probably the whole league, that when people see us competing and trying to fight to do anything it takes to win, because this is a hard league, that they automatically think that's what you're like off the court. People need to get to know us players more. And I think if they do, they fall in love with us. And so not judging the competitive side of us compared to our off court.
And that's one of those things where I'm like, that's always the weirdest thing. For me, that's kind of been one of the weirder things, is where a lot of people, if there's a WNBA player, for example, that they're not the biggest fan of as a player, a lot of like the casual fans instantly, just take a dislike to them as a person. I'm like, I just never got that, if you get me. Like, I never understood why. I was like, I mean, there's always that big difference between what somebody's like as a person versus what somebody's like as a player. And it shouldn't take, it shouldn't realistically take Sophie Cunningham coming out to say that for people to realize it. Like, let's take a look at this. No quote tweets. Sophie is the opposite of her on-court persona. So is Caitlin Clark, by the way. I would assume a lot of players are. In all aspects of ball. In all aspects of life. Let's be real. There's nobody's work persona is automatically their outside of work persona. Like, there are plenty of people that can be, like, if they're a CEO of a company, that at work can be a bit of a dickhead, but are an extremely good person outside of work. And then obviously with the likes of Sophie Cunningham she is a crash out artist. Like, Sophie Cunningham is a crash out artist, but seemingly is extremely popular off the court with fans. And by the way, extremely popular off the court with players. Like, if you guys don't know, like, do you guys remember the stud buds? Like, they'd be talking to Sophie Cunningham and they got so much abuse in their chat that they had to basically explain why they were talking to Sophie Cunningham. And that's one of those weird things where it's like, again, you have to have a bit of a backbone, which in fairness, Courtney Williams and Natisha Heidemann, they did. They had enough of a backbone that they were absolutely willing to call out people that were like criticizing Sophie Cunningham. And again, there's a lot of teams, like, to say, like, she was Diana Taurasi's protege. Like, there are 15 teams in the WNBA next year. There are 15 teams that would like to have Sophie Cunningham on their team. As for not only as a player, but as well for like off the court things, because she was a hell of a presenter when she was with Phoenix. So, any of those teams, they're all linked with NBA teams. They're like, okay, cool. In the off season, if she doesn't go and play Project B, which realistically Project B is probably going to pay her more than the presenting role is, she's probably you're probably going to get a good player. You're probably you're going to get a good player, and you're going to be getting a person who fans are going to kind of rally around, which is kind of rare at the WNBA level. And we all know, again, what the types of players that we talk about that are dirty players. From everything we've heard, Bria Hartley supposedly is a lovely person. Bria Hartley, based off last season, And I don't think that what happened to Sophie Cunningham was dirty. I'm talking about the twice in one game against the Seattle Storm trying to undercut someone their ankle. The what you call it, the yank of Angel Reese's hair. I think the most Dejanay Carrington. I don't know anything about Dejanay Carrington off the floor. If anything, she's the one that, you know, her off the floor thing has just pissed off a lot of people. She's just pissed off a lot of people off the floor, like with some of the stuff she says. I don't know if she's a good or a bad person. But like she has said things, some very, very annoying things. And then also, like, let's not forget, she yanked someone down by her hair. She yanked somebody down by her hair during the season. But yeah, look, it's all in all, we're in a spot where, look, these players are getting more and more popular, which is a positive thing. It's a positive thing that these players are getting more and more well known. It's a positive thing that the players are getting more popular. And it's a positive thing that we're having to even have this conversation, being like, oh, you know, players are better off the court if you hate them on the floor. Because at least, I mean this when I say this, like, even if it is hate, they're at least like instilling some emotion in fans, which is kind of important. It's kind of an important thing in sports, you know, that like these players are able to instill some emotion. And if nothing else, the likes of Bria Hartley seem like really good people. Like, apparently, from everything I've heard, JC Sheldon is like the nicest person ever from anyone that bumped into her in All-Star Weekend. Even though she did captain insane-o Caitlin Clark. But like, again, that is competitive rivalry. That is competitive rivalry. And I still cannot believe the video that I made. I still, to this day, cannot believe that when I made the video in June, on June the 17th, Caitlin Clark is facing her number one rival versus the Sun. And everybody was like, this rivalry not disappoint. You were definitely right. I don't think there's much in a rivalry in that JC isn't on CC's level. For future reference, OSU or Scarlet and Grey, I don't know. Sheldon was on one of the feverish motions when you know, you know. It was like there were so many comments here. Obviously, this video took off. It had like 5,000 views, went to 12,000 views after the game. They were like, oh shit, he was right. It was like, oh shit, he was actually right about this one. But seemingly a really nice person. I think that's the case with a lot of these players. Like, and that's just saying in life. In life, the vast majority of people you meet are grand. Like, you're not going to dislike the vast majority of people you meet. You're going to like the vast majority of people you meet. And then the people you don't like, you're more likely going to absolutely despise. But anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is the video. Players are humans and probably not bad people. See you guys.